Welcome, guys. It's a Special Friends podcast. Back at it again with your boy Wuzi, and I'm here to talk to you guys. Be real personal. First off, you know I love to do shout outs. I just want to shout out everybody who's been supporting the podcast, even though I've been the most inconsistent person possible, probably. Probably people worse than me, but like I'm close to being like the most inconsistent person. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Gotta give my shout outs. I got a list because I don't want to forget nobody. And I'm still gonna forget people because my list is small, but I just want to say first off, shout out to Opance, OG, showing love in the stream. Shout out to Surion. Shout out to Squid. Shout out to Viva. Shout out to Red Unicorn. Shout out to SoCal Samurai. That's Senpai right there. And shout out to D.Jax. Not D-Jax. D-Jax. Shout out to CJ too. I just want to say I appreciate you guys for always supporting me and holding it down, even though I've been inconsistent. But I want to kind of talk about the future of the podcast. I'm aware of the inconsistency, so I'm trying to fix that. And I told you guys about some of the struggles that comes with being consistent when it comes to being like doing a podcast, especially the type that I do right here. So I've been working on finding things to solve that, and one of the things is getting a co-host, which is like who I'm here with right now. She was on the last episode, and it's Mrs. B. Is it Miss B?
Yeah, Professor B.
Professor B.
Professor B.
Put respect on her name, Professor B.
Yeah.
So I'm here now with Professor B, and she's the new co-host of the Special Friends podcast. So it should be fun. Should be a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time. You didn't ask.
What are some things you're looking forward to as far as new era?
A new era, yeah. I mean, I've been on 2 podcasts before this, and for me, consistency was a struggle too. So I think I'm just looking forward to being creative again. New partnership, and I don't know, a new opportunity to kind of put my voice back out there, but do it in a really fun, low-key, laid-back way. And like I said, it's cool to do this with like a new partner. Mm-hmm. I've done this, like I said, 2 podcasts before. One with a group of my girlfriends, and then another one was like a co-ed podcast as well. It was a group of us, and both were good experiences. But I feel like I still have a lot to say, and I don't know. Also have done a lot of healing with my mental health and stuff, so I feel like I can be consistent again. And yeah.
So let me ask you.
Did I even answer the question?
It's okay. I don't even know if you answered the question.
I'm a little nervous.
What are you nervous for now?
All my public speaking anxiety coming up. I teach this.
Hey, you're gonna be exposed now. But I want to ask you, I want you to speak on that too, because anybody who actually does creative things, as far as create video, anything where you have to take your spare time and use it to create something, understands there's consistency is the hardest part, because some days you're just not feeling it.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted you to speak on what are some struggles that you have with consistency?
Discipline. It's primarily just the discipline of I can actually be consistent for a while, but it's once I find a break in the consistency, it's having the discipline to get consistent again. Mm-hmm. And not falling back into bad habits. So I feel for me, it's discipline and being committed to discipline, mm-hmm. to being disciplined. Yeah. And then
I feel that though.
Yeah, and then also just having the right circle. I know that took me a while to get to, but
that's the hardest part.
Just having the right circle of people who encourage you, inspire you, and build with you, you know. It's not a competition. I feel like that's like also really important. So for me, it's been like finding the right people to be around that help me to arrive where I need to be, that help me to be consistent, that, you know, hold me accountable, and that invite me to do the same for them. So
I think I remember that was when I was younger, you always hear like, if you want to make it, go to LA. I never understood that like whole concept until like now that I'm kind of, even though like I wouldn't consider I want to be a content creator, but I wouldn't put that label on me yet, speaking into existence. But like,
why not now?
I mean, I make content. I can't say I don't make it, but
I
just until I get paid, I'm like, listen, I'm hot.
Sounds like you're just delaying your blessings.
Period. But I was saying, like, I understand when people go to like LA, because when they go to LA, they like get around people doing the same thing. So it's like kind of inspiring in a sense, like, you know, like if I'm recording a vlog and like me and my friends are like eating, like it's kind of like, sorry guys, I gotta like put this camera right here.
Like I'm gonna be that guy.
Like be chill, like the camera's not there.
You see that?
Act like the camera's not there. But you know, if you're in LA and you got friends, like they understand, like, and they'll even, like you said, they'll like push you to like, yeah, like you should record like what we're about to go into or something like that. I imagine that's what it's like in their head. So it's definitely dope. I definitely agree with that, and so I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited for this in general.
Yeah. Just like a nice creative outlet. That's something that's like low key enough and relaxed enough, intellectual enough that it's, I think, low risk, low impact. So that was the other thing with the other podcast I had, that the friendships were very high. Not that this isn't a high risk friendship, but I just feel like there's like the communication's probably healthier in our friendship. And the boundaries are very clear too. So it makes it easier to navigate and I think do business.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I also am like looking forward to that in this experience too.
So what should we tell people to expect from this?
Lots of laughs. Lots of laughs. What else?
Hopefully
intellectual thoughts.
I'm always laughing.
Yeah, I feel like we're always laughing when we're having conversations. So
I literally told I was talking to somebody on Instagram today, and I was telling them like my red flags. I'm never serious. Like,
yeah,
never.
that feels accurate.
I'm like, I don't know if it's a real red flag, but I was like, I feel like in most situations where somebody's like, I'm like, you ever heard that like audio where it's like, you need to leave? Like that's always like me. It's like somebody says something, I'm weak. It's like, I'm sorry. I can't take anything serious. I can't.
And you're the person laughing at the most inappropriate or inopportune time sometimes.
Yeah, I went to my great grandma's funeral and there was a couple times where I had to put my head down. Just because sometimes it was like, you hear somebody say something, you see somebody's mannerism, you're just like the deep exhale. It's not the time. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, it seems to me it's like the perfect time to laugh.
I do that when people trip.
Oh man, that's a good one though. Yeah. Like you're talking about like trip like ooh, or trip like to the ground like, like all the way on the ground.
The ladder. Like, to see the laugh set it all.
Bro, seeing people hit the ground is so wild. Cause you're used to seeing babies. When you see a grown person body,
hard.
And it's like,
I don't really laugh when kids fall. I don't think that it's as funny actually. It's only
it's like
really
expected.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? But adults, I laugh and then ask if they're. I try not to laugh, but sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes I can't help it.
How do you deal with that? Like how do you deal with like can you like are you able to like keep composure and then laugh later, or is it like instantly like?
Most times I can keep composure, but there have been a few times I've laughed at my mom.
Oh no, that's the worst person to laugh
at. I know, but. That's not a good look, is it?
I mean, not
that
like
happens.
I was my mom all the time.
My mom doesn't fall often, but we are both klutzy, so she like kind of stumbles a little bit, and I stumble a lot too. So I don't know. I think it's funny, but she'll be like, you're just gonna laugh But you didn't fall, Mom.
Yeah,
You just tripped. You just stumbled. But yeah, I don't know. That's like I'm much better at it now. But in high school is where it was really a challenge for me.
Really?
Yeah, especially like people getting kicked and stuff like that. Because people are always getting.
But see, school and that's one thing I used to hate about school because like I was considered a class clown, and not on purpose. Like I just and people still laugh at me now. And I'm like, I'm literally just saying exactly how I feel, and you guys are thinking it's comedic. But I'm like dead serious in my heart. Like, no, like, yo, breath smell like pickles, dog. Like, I just need help. And it's like, school such a like teachers put so much. Like, you would get in trouble for making someone laugh, and I always thought that was so unfair. Cause I'm like, why am I in trouble? And they're the one being disruptive. I'm just over here living I'm living my life.
I'm just responding to the disruption.
Yeah.
I'm not the disruption.
I guess that's real.
Yeah.
I'm the problem. Take some accountability.
No, you were responding to the other person, right? Am I hearing
No. I'm the one just living my life, and people are laughing at me.
Oh, yeah. No. yeah. You're the problem.
And that's why I was...
In class?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes, like, it's nice to be able to mind your own business. But I honestly, none of my students are really able to mind their own business in my class. So...
You know what? There's one thing school got right. Like, people are like, oh, you gotta not be a distraction to your other students. I didn't believe that when I was younger, but when I get older, I'm like, you know what? There are some things that are very distracting.
Would you say that it's like if you were in class, would it be distracting if the person sitting in front of you was constantly checking their phone and texting? Or would you be like unbothered by that?
If they're in front of me?
Any of the desks around you, or like in your immediate.
Is the classroom quiet, or is it like?
Yeah, it's like a lecture day.
It depends. If the room's like kind of moody, it's like dark, and I see like this flood of light in the corner of my eye, I'm always gonna be like,
bruh,
immediately.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say like I won't be paying attention to someone's on their phone. Like, I feel like I don't know. It's a catch-22. It depends. I feel like that is distracting to a lot of people, though. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I'm the majority on that. I feel like a lot of people see something and like, what are you doing?
Sometimes I have the audacity to text right next to me when a student is speaking. And I'm like, I will ask, like, what are you doing? Or who are you texting?
Yeah.
But at the
better
same
be important.
They'll be like, oh, my mom, my sister. Like, let me see. But I'm just messing with them most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's distracting for me, but also on a speech day, that makes sense. Like, people really shouldn't be on their phones.
Yeah,
so that's different.
If it's a speech, I feel like more distracting is the person giving the speech, because I haven't given many speeches, but when I'm talking to somebody, even if it's a group, if I see somebody hit this, my train of thought immediately goes. I'm like thinking like, dang, they're bored. Like this, like thinking like, oh, they played me. Like, oh, I did so dirty right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm not also the best orator, so.
Sometimes you have good performances and sometimes you don't. Yeah. That's what happens with my lectures. Some are really good and some are really boring.
That's why I understand hecklers too. Like, I understand like why people get upset, because if you're up there already kind of like nervous and you're like trying to focus, you're trying to like be entertaining and be like energetic, but also like be cognizant and like kind of like be like tell a story.
Yeah.
Hearing somebody go ha in the back can easily throw somebody off. Or if somebody's like, tell a good, like, just saying anything, because like
be funny.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Where's the real jokes? These are the real jokes. But shout out to comedians. Shout out to the hecklers.
Yeah.
It's all experience. But also expect tangent conversations.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. What were we doing? Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry, but
I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's gonna be. I think going forward, just in general, like I said, expect casual conversation. I don't expect anything professional. Like I don't expect. I mean.
Sometimes guests, maybe.
There's definitely gonna be somebody. It's gonna be guests for sure.
quick interviews, but
yeah, but I wouldn't. If you're looking for like I always use this word. If you're looking for like a college level dissertation, just go ahead and hit the X button right now.
Yeah, no, this is Professor B off the clock.
This is Professor B after hours.
After hours, yeah.
Jazz voice, like slow jazz.
Slow jams after hours.
You know that I'm so sad that's an era that's gone.
Is it though? They're Sirius Radio. They got it.
Are they doing like I don't have serious radio, I can't afford it. But like
my grandma has it and she likes the watercolors station is what it's called.
Watercolors?
Watercolors.
That's a good name.
It's a smooth jazz Sirius station. Is
there people like but see like I was talking about more like the era of like shout out.
Like, those were good times. You on the radio? They don't do those anymore? I don't listen to the radio. But I know
she's driving home from work. Shout this song to her. I want you to play Mario. Like I think that's gone because I remember that like it was like a time window. Like I don't know why I listened to the radio. I had like a radio in my room, and I remember just having that station on and hearing people shout out like, "Yeah, this song goes out to my girl. We've been having issues lately, and I just want to let her know I really love her." Just like whatever. And I was like,
I remember those. Those are good days.
I've never been able to shout somebody out, and I feel like it sounds weird, like, hey, listen to the radio today.
You could. I bet you still could.
I'm about to shout you out to listen to the radio. Like, how would you shout them out, though?
Call in.
That's real. But, like, are people listening to radio? The mixtape is still alive, though.
Yeah, people listen to radio. Radio is just more available in different forms. It's like people aren't really using AM and FM as often. Some still do, though, but you still get radio. Most people are streaming these days.
That's real.
But they're still like, so especially on the East Coast, I feel like they're, you know what I mean, calling.
Radio's heavy.
I used to like listening to 107.9 out here. Mm-hmm. They had in the mornings War of the Roses.
Oh, I still listen to that.
Does it still come on?
Yes, I was listening to it. Like you talking about when they like we're gonna send him roses and see what happens.
To see if he's cheating. So toxic.
I love it.
It's good. It's good radio.
There was a one where I was addicted. Like I was really gonna be late for work. I'm like I gotta listen.
I need to know.
Because like they were doing it later than usual. I'm like I gotta sit here in my car until like it's time to clock in because I need to hear the story. It was like this girl and this guy went on a date, and the date went off good. Everything, and then the guy just like ghosted her, and she didn't understand like why he ghosted her. So he like kind of wanted to. I don't think it was War of the Roses. I think it was like a different like iteration of that. Like just like calling people trying to figure out what's going on. So I remember her telling the story. She's like, yeah, everything hit off well. Had a lot of sexual chemistry, and then like we went for a walk to the park, and he just kind of like was like cool off of everything. Like I don't know what happened, whatever. So I'm like, I gotta hear what he did. I gotta hear what happened, cause like in my head I'm like, was it him? Was it her? What could have happened? So glad I stayed. So glad. I was like so happy I was almost late because they called this guy. He picks up the phone. They revealed that we're on the phone for blah blah blah. And she wants to know what happened. Something like you guys had real good chemistry. Like we want to know what happened. You have a girlfriend, something like that. He's like, no, like it was actually like a really good date until like we went to the park and she drank from the dog water fountain. Like I don't know if it was like the lower like there was a water fountain that was also for dogs, and she like drank from it. And he's like, and then before. She had like organic beef, organic like dog food. So she was like, yeah, you can eat it. And like she was eating it too to like show that like, yeah, it's like, it's just food. So like to him that threw him off. And I remember hearing that, I said, okay, he has a point. Because I don't care.
It gave him the ick.
It was dog treats. There were dog treats that like, she was like smacking on the dog treats too. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. How do you feel about that? If you were dating somebody, y'all had real good chemistry, but like he was like, yeah, the dog treats are like organic. Like I think like snacking on the dog treats.
I think dog treats that's fine, but it's the water fountain that I think takes it to the inappropriate level for me. You know, because it's like the sanitation of it all, But
that water fountain went through me.
The treats aren't too bad. I would try a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was.
You would smack on one.
If it was vegan.
That sounds so crazy to me. Like, I'm not against it because I was actually.
People feed their dogs bacon and stuff all the time.
That's
so,
true.
I just feel like it's just another version.
Just smack it on a bacon strip.
It's a bacon strip or it's a vegan biscuit.
A vegan. I mean, yeah, I guess if it's a biscuit, it's just something. I guess I'm like a person who's like stuck in the world of that it's meant for a dog.
Like dogs are so different than us.
Yeah,
we created dog food. I just want you to know.
Yeah, I still live in that world. Like, we just eat completely different foods. Like
we did that to them.
Yeah.
We did that to them.
I mean, have you seen the people who make their dog food for they make their food for their dog? That stuff looks crazy.
Looks great. If I had a dog, I would do that.
Oh, no,
or a cat.
But I wouldn't eat it.
Well,
I'm gonna put like some trout skin in there for coat. And I'm gonna put some pumpkin spread in there for. I don't know what they'd be saying.
Think of like the fresh chopped vegetables and gravy.
Oh, like when they like make like ground, like it'd be like ground beef and like cook it up.
Yeah.
Season it up, like here you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't be mad at somebody eating that. Like you wouldn't even know. Like that's just shepherd's pie.
Yeah. I love shepherd's pie.
Never had it.
It has mashed potatoes on top.
Really?
It's usually made with like minced lamb. But we here in the United States have it with ground beef. Or I'm sure other European countries probably.
Okay.
And then it's got like peas and corn between the mashed potatoes and the meat.
Wow.
And some cheese on top. I think there's some cheese on top.
I haven't had it. I've always seen it. It looks crazy. It looks like a European pot pie.
Basically, that's the only thing that's missing for me is actually crust.
Yeah. Shout out to Popeyes.
I love me a good pot pie. But a shepherd's pie with some crust would be ideal. Anyway. What are we talking about today? What's on the agenda?
We actually got some structure today, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we do.
We're 30 minutes in. But part of the 30 minutes was like the rundown. But
it's cool.
Yeah, we got a couple of topics. Some things going through the week. But before that, I wanted to ask you, how was your week? I want to check in. How was your week? Did the week treat you well?
The week treated me pretty well.
Yeah.
It was a busy week. It was the end of an 8-week class.
Mm-hmm.
I teach all sorts of classes at different durations, different capacities. So some classes are online, some are in person, some are 8 weeks, some are 17 weeks, some are 6 weeks. It really varies. So yeah, I just wrapped up an 8-week accelerated public speaking class, and it was all online. And unfortunately, I procrastinated on my grading.
What does that mean? What is
a week of grading.
Oh, wow.
A week of very intense grading is what that means. So it means grading all 4 of their speeches, and or it's great. It's getting caught up on all their grading, on all the assignments that I've missed.
I didn't think about that.
And per student, it's actually, I don't know. I'm kind of in this place where let me try to stay on. I will try not to tangent too far, but I struggle with wanting to give my students thorough feedback and points for everything, and also wanting to just give them points for doing it.
Yeah.
Because that would just be such easier work on my mental and on their stress. But that's not where we're at. So it was a long week of grading, of grading marathons at coffee shops, late nights at home.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to this weekend. And relaxing, still doing a little more grading for other classes.
Yeah.
But at least there's no time crunch.
That's pretty cool. I didn't think about teachers when they give out homework. They basically give themselves homework.
Yes.
Which is wild to think about.
Yeah. So
why y'all do that?
That's why we cancel them too.
You know what?
I don't feel like writing that assignment. I don't feel like reading your assignment. You don't feel like writing this assignment.
Don't worry, I'm gonna take care of you.
Let's all win.
Okay. Sounds like a good week then.
Yeah. Sometimes it's necessary too. Sometimes you don't have the time to fit it all in, and you have to really pay attention to what the students need. And so, I feel like I go into the semester with very ambitious goals, but often am in a position where I'm like, y'all, I realize you haven't had your grades back on X, Y, or Z. So let's restructure. Let's restructure. How about we drop an assignment?
Yeah.
You know?
Still audible.
I need to get caught up. And I can't keep putting more assignments on you when you don't have any feedback.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
It's pretty good.
But then lastly, there's also this kind of idea, like, I would love for my students to value their own, like, feedback, like personal work, like I would rather that their own personal self-reflection be more valuable than like my grade. You know, public speaking is such a relative skill, so like set your own goals, pursue them at your own pace with the tools that you have from this class.
Okay.
That's what I would really like. But their confidence is largely reliant and contingent upon grades, points, and affirmation.
Yeah. So that's what I sucked about school. I did not care about the validation.
Yeah, well, that's good. Probably you had more fulfilling classes that way, or else you were completely disconnected.
Completely disconnected for sure. Like, I'm the kid in class that the teacher, like, that the smart kids hated and the teacher kind of hates, where it's like, he's not participating at all, but somehow he's like doing good on these tests. And it's like, you can't just fail him on a test because he got all the answers right, but it's like,
but he's not trying.
Yeah, they just come to you like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Where's the disconnect? I'm like, you just keep giving me homework. That's really what it is. Like, if I'm in the class, I'm good. So just give me the homework. He's like, sorry, but my whole life is just not built for homework and fun. Gotta choose. And once you told me that I can get a C without doing homework.
Oh my gosh. Oh, oh my good. That sort of attitude. People who are satisfied, students who are satisfied with C's, I know I can just see them just in their coursework, like in what they turn in or what they don't turn in. I'm like, I see you're here for a C. And maybe personal growth, hopefully.
Yeah,
but
personal growth. I hope you want some out of this.
I hope you do, but you can tell. And that's okay. Public speaking isn't for everybody, but...
As a teacher, do you feel like, does that attitude affect you at all, or is it like,
yeah,
focus on the people who are trying?
When I first started teaching, it definitely affected me a lot.
Yeah.
It was super discouraging, and I was just like, I think that would taint kind of the experience for me. But now, it doesn't taint the experience. It just annoys me.
Yeah, like, why are you here?
Yeah. Find a different instructor.
Yeah.
You know, find a different experience if this isn't going to be pleasant for you, because if it's not pleasant for you, it's not going to be pleasant for me.
Yeah, I got to read this mishmash.
You know, we have to listen to this, and you have to struggle through it.
See, that's one thing I didn't do. I didn't like slack on stuff that I did. I just either didn't do it, like blatantly just didn't do it, or I would do it. Which I wouldn't say it's the best strategy, because there's some times where you get towards the end of the year and it's like, okay, I thought I was aiming at a C. It's looking like a D. So it's time to start doing some homework.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm doing projects. It's like
emailing for extra credit.
It's like, yeah, I'm just as long as I get the C, we're good. And like, shout out to, I remember we had a teacher named Miss Papulia. Shout out to Miss P, and she was the funniest English teacher I've ever had in my life, because she didn't care. So it's like, I just felt like I was at home, like, it's just a job to her. Not completely a job, because she loved literature, but it was like, she's like, listen, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I have a bunch of speeding tickets, and I need to pay these off. Like she said, she used to tell me all the time. She's like, yeah, I'll be in these meetings with the teachers, and I'm like shopping for boots, like just not listening to them at all. Like, but like when she graded your paper, like I remember one time somebody in our class plagiarized. I'll never forget. She had like a little candle in her desk, and she goes, most monotone voice ever. Listen, guys, I'm not going to stand and read through blatant plagiarism. Like, this is what I'm gonna do with your paper. Grabs the paper and sets it on fire, and she's just sitting there like, you're gonna have to redo this. Like, just burns the paper up. And I'm just like, I remember at the scene now, like, shout out to Miss Papulis, bro. And I had her the last period, so she's always just like, can you guys hurry up, because I'm trying to leave early. I'm gonna let you guys leave early because I'm trying to get out the parking lot before the traffic. So I was like,
Holy, she knows what's up.
So like we were like, but I feel like
yeah,
she was like also the teacher that I did the best in because it was like, okay, Miss Police don't care. Like I'm gonna at least try because like it's not like I'm out here.
There's no expectations.
Yeah,
here.
she's not giving out major homework. It's like read the book.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna read the book. I can't like not read the.
It's a simple act.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm that instructor. I like to think that.
Mm-hmm.
But the lighting the paper on fire, that's some next level. That's some next level stuff.
I'll never
save
that.
that one.
That was a good day.
I
remember everybody in class was quiet.
Too.
Yeah, everybody in the class was quiet like because she's like monotone, so we knew she was upset, but she didn't like visibly look upset. She's just like, now you guys are gonna sit here and like write. And we're just quiet. Who plagiarized? It's like everybody's upset because like whoever did
us?
Yeah, like we were chill, we were on our phones and stuff like this. Like now we gotta actually sit here.
Bro, we were gonna have a fun day.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you're killing me, dog. That was a good day, but shout out to Miss P. But
yeah, anyway, how was your week?
My week, blur. Coming back from the weekend, last weekend I had cooked for my friends and made coq au vin for them.
What's that?
Coq au vin is like stewed chicken. It translates in French to like rooster and wine. Basically, like you like stew this chicken in wine with like leeks, carrots, onions. I made mashed potatoes, and then I made a French salad, like a Dijon mustard vinaigrette, and I made like some crostinis with this whipped ricotta and sauteed tomatoes. It was pretty good.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds fancy.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You shoved that up over there.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a good time. So coming from that was a lot. That took a lot more work than I thought. So that day kind of was
that's not your normal.
Huh?
That's not your normal like cooking capacity?
I would usually. Well, this is the thing, and this is not a. I expected to make one pot. My friend came, and I forgot that he doesn't eat bacon. So that is what threw everything off because I had to make two. So now I'm like manhandling two things instead of just making one and finishing that and going to the next thing.
Yeah.
And that kind of threw me off, of course, because like as I'm buying the bacon, he's like, "What's the bacon for?" I'm like, "To fry the chicken, like to brown the skin." And he's like, "Oh, you can make one without the bacon." I'm like, "Damn, I forgot all about that." So I'm like, that's like another bottle of wine and stuff like that. So anyway, that it just took a lot more work.
Yeah.
And that kind of that's how my week started. And I'm like, I was just like trying to catch the week, like, please. So I'm glad the weekend's here too, because I get to catch up on my video editing. I get to catch up on just chilling. Yeah. So Lily's sleep's been crazy.
Yeah.
But I had a good week. I think week flew by. Now we're here. I was excited for this. Yeah, I had a good week. It was a good week. But I want to get into, we got some topics, and there's one, this is a curveball.
Okay.
Because my friend told me about this. So my boy Richard, he was on a date. You ever been on dating apps before? Mm-hmm. Which ones? Oh, you don't have to say no, never mind.
It's
but
okay, I'm not on them now. I was on Hinge. I was on a few others.
Okay. Yeah, it was on a few. But so he was on, I don't know if he was on Hinge. I don't know if he was on Hinge. Which one is the one where, I think it might be Bumble. What's the one where you could talk to him and then after you start talking to him, you unmatch? Is that Tinder? Is that Bumble? I don't use dating apps, so I've never been on one.
That sounds like Tinder, but I don't know.
So whatever happened, he matched with somebody, had a good conversation.
You couldn't match on any of them at this time. Anyway, I'm sorry for
Yeah, I just don't know how they work. I think I want to say it was Bumble because I feel like every guy uses Bumble because it's just in their head oh, girl chooses me I'm up, right? Anyway, but I'm gonna say it's Bumble for the sake of conversation.
Okay.
So I think he's on Bumble and he's having a conversation with this girl and she brings up a term that I've never heard before. And it's called a D.I.N.K lifestyle.
What is that?
So she asked him if he wants kids. He was like, yeah, when I get to the I want kids. She's like, oh, I don't believe in kids. I believe in a D.I.N.K lifestyle. A D.I.N.K stands for dual income, no kids. And listen, he told me this, and I thought she made it up. I looked it up. I had looked it up. This is a whole movement of like, of like,
wow.
Yeah, dual income, no kids. Like you live your life, both have jobs, both make money. You guys like the biggest thing is freedom. And I want to ask you, like, how do you feel about like that? Like, does that make sense where we are now in the world? Like,
yeah, it definitely makes sense where we're at now, especially for women. I mean, it's because it's dangerous to have babies. It's dangerous to get pregnant. It's dangerous to bring children into this world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's like, you shouldn't just have kids just because you want to have them. Like, you know, I don't know. I think it's a calling. I think it's, you know, a very special privilege. So to be intentional that if you know you don't want kids, to not put yourself in a position to create them, I think is very wise. Thank you for doing the planet justice, because there's enough terrible parents on this planet. We don't need more of them.
My sister Lily I was talking to my sister. She's a dental assistant. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, people wanting that lifestyle, I'm not saying they would all be terrible parents. Some just don't really want kids like that. So I should maybe like revise that to say, you know what I mean? Like,
nah, I'm just kidding. No.
Nah.
Leave that where it's at.
Leave it where it's at.
Y'all need to not have no more kids. You know what?
If you know you don't want to be a parent, I think that's fair. Not everybody should be a parent. You know?
It's a lot of y'all should be parents.
But the thing is, I feel like a lot of people that don't want to be parents would make great parents.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? That's where it's like a problem. It's like, but we need you.
We need you.
But there's so many kids on this planet that need parenting, that need support. Like, if we have more people in the world to help put hands together to help them.
Lily, my sister today she works in she works in a dental office, and she does cleanings. She cleans babies' mouths, and she said she literally had somebody say, "I didn't know I was supposed to brush their teeth." So like that alone, like, hey, you need to dink it up, bro. Like you say, if you don't want to do the bare minimum to take care of your kid,
or don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people who have kids that don't know how to be a parent, and I know that's. I guess no one knows really how to be a parent.
My mom didn't know for sure, but she held it down. My mom did a good job. Being 20-year-old, having a kid, I don't know what I would do. We don't give our parents enough credit in that sphere. At 20, I was so arrogant. To have a kid and think I'm gonna be a good dad. No, you're not. I'm not gonna be absent, but like I'll probably be like, I really messed up that situation. Like really thinking about like 20. Even now, sometimes like I'm 26. Like as much as I want a kid, I'm like, would I do right by a kid right now? Am I doing right by myself right now? But then again, like you said, I feel like some people. Do you feel like kids help people grow up?
Some, not everybody.
Yeah, I know my sister grew up a lot when she had a kid.
Yeah, what do you mean by grow up too? Because that's.
My sister lived a life where she had no responsibility, and once she had a kid, she's like, okay, now I realize like there's a lot of responsibility with this.
Yeah.
And like, cause like I only say that because like my sister was the type of person like, we gotta go to school. I don't feel like going to school, so stay in my bed. But we have to go to school. Like just or like going to work. Like they want me to come work at 9 o'clock. That's a no. They're gonna have to fire me, and I'll just get unemployment. Like that's like my sister's like lifestyle.
Yeah.
And when she had the kid, she was like, okay, I gotta go to work. I gotta pay bills.
Well, she has motivation to mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I said. I feel like I don't feel like that should have been a situation like she needed to have a kid to grow up, but like I will say having a kid made her sober up. Like,
all right, let me get serious about my life.
Not
that she wasn't before, but
yeah.
Yeah.
But back on the dink lifestyle, like I don't know. Is the dink lifestyle for you? Are you a dinker?
No, I'm not. Yeah. I definitely want kids. I want to be married. Like I definitely want a rather traditional family. Mm-hmm. You know, just in terms of
white picket fence, golden retriever.
Yes.
American flagpole.
Oh God.
The true American dream.
Yeah.
Light green
or
grass.
Like a Pan-African flag or something like that.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, probably. Yeah, I would like to live that lifestyle for a while before we have kids, though.
That makes sense.
You know, I think that that it could definitely still be something that can be applied intentionally before you choose to bring children into this world too.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say too, like, to the credit of D.I.N.K lifestyle, because I read the art. There was an article on Pop Sugar, and I was reading it, and they're just talking about how it allows them to have freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
because since they have two incomes, it's like if you like if two people are married and one person wants to do a career shift, they don't have that burden of like, oh, I gotta make sure I keep working because of my kids. Like they said, those relationships they have a lot of like career shifts or like lateral shifts where it's like, and I think that's pretty dope to think about. Like if I know I've been in situations where it's like my job is trash, but I can't quit right now. Like, I really have to go to work, and it'd be dope to be in a situation where it's like my job's not fulfilling me. I want to take a chance, and we can survive on like 1.5 incomes. Like I can do that. Like that's when I heard like them speaking like that, I said, okay, I can see a D.I.N.K, but I don't know about when I get old. Like
once I mean, I think for me, I think about like just being in like childbearing age, and like I'm 31 and 30. I know that I still have time. I'll be like, you have time. I know. But I don't know. I also just think the later, obviously, the later that you have a pregnancy, the more risky it is. And so, and also it depends on like my partner, if he's fertile and if he wants kids, you know, or if he has kids, because there's also that too. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. I'm very open to how kids come into my life, but I also, I don't know. I don't know. I feel kind of not caught off guard, but like mind blown about it because I could appreciate the freedom of having, you know, the chance to change careers or go back to school or be only in school and not have to work and do school at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, I think that there's a lot of I can see a lot of beauty in that.
Well, and that's the thing too, because I feel like, especially when I think about the idea of the D.I.N.K, because I'm thinking about like my mom had me at 20. That's young as heck. But the luxury of my mom having me at 20 that I see, like the positive, if I had a kid at 20, is that you burn through your, like, you know, obviously that's 18 years, 25. But like, you know, 25 years, my mom, so she had me at 20, now she's 26. So my mom is 46. And she gets to like enjoy, well, she has more kids, but if she just had me, she would be able to enjoy her life at this point. And it's like, I mean, she still does. And it's like,
I know what you mean though.
I feel like, even though like I'm not in a place right now for a D.I.N.K, if like God does not bless me with no relationship that's sustaining, if I'm 44, I might have a D.I.N.K.
And like it's an acceptable alternative.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's it's definitely an acceptable alternative.
I just think it's wild at 20. Like me and my friend, like my friend's 26, I'm 26. Well, he's 25, I'm 26. Being 26, 25, 24, 30, talking about dinking. I don't know why I keep saying it like that, dinking, but like, I don't know if I want to dink that young, because like...
It's also so serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yes. Like, are you okay with a dink? I don't want any kids at all. It's like, I'm not mad at that.
I mean, yeah, it's important, like in your 20s though, like, you know, pregnancy scares and stuff like that, that's super real, so it's important to be able to be upfront about that, because if you are engaging with someone who would want kids and would want you to keep the baby, that's like a very uncomfortable position to be in. Let's just not be in it by being upfront.
Yeah, I'm not taking this. I've got the implant.
Yeah. Hopefully there's something.
But
yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, the D.I.N.K threw me off this week. I had to share that and wanted to see what you thought about the D.I.N.K, because a study shows that people from 18 to 49, 44% said they don't plan on having kids. That's up. It used to be 30 something.
44%?
From 18 to 49.
That's actually crazy.
That almost half. Like that's why I said, that's why I was surprised about the D.I.N.K, because I'm really becoming the minority. Like, oh, you really want to have kids? Yeah. You want to have like little human? They call them little human. You want to have a little humans running around with snotty noses? Yeah.
You do.
And I'll wipe their noses too.
Yeah. And I'll change their stinky diapers.
I want to see. I'm gonna see what they grow up to be. You know,
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Said every person without kids.
I mean, yeah. I tell you all the time, like I kind of feel like I raised kids because I helped raise my little brothers, but I was never financially responsible for them.
When you feel like tapping out, you get to tap out.
Yeah, like Mom, I don't feel like watching this weekend. Okay.
You know, you're off the hook. Same with auntie duty. You know.
Yeah.
It's a short period of time.
So that's the best duty though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, oh, I get them like cute. Oh, they're fussy. Oh.
Mommy's
Take them back.
Take them back. I don't know what to do. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
But yeah, shout out to D.I.N.K. So before we end it on, would you think?
Like I said, depends on what time I'm at in my life, where I'm at. If I've passed the period where, you know, I want to have kids in that kind of that traditional family, then maybe. Actually, I would say to start. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm looking to start off in that space. First. Yeah, I don't want us to even. We're not having kids until we've been together for a few years, kid free.
We have the D.I.N.K for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
And then we can think about undinking this.
Yeah. We can circle back.
But
I want kids, so it would not be a permanent thing for me.
Okay. I want to stay on this trajectory, because you brought up it's not the same thing. Kind of the same thing. It's not the same thing, but it's like in that same realm of like kind of like lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up the video of Amanda Seales reacting to I can't remember the name of the lady saying woke.
Yeah, she's trying to.
So there was to like give more context. There was like an IG clip, and in the IG clip,
Amanda was reacting to a news clip of this news reporter having a conversation with I suppose a white activist. I did not do enough research on the context. The video clip alone was just super interesting. But she, the activist essentially was trying to answer what is woke.
Yeah, because she kept throughout the conversation she kept saying woke people, woke. So the young lady, the reporter was like, well, can you define woke so we can I feel like we're on the same page, because you keep using woke. And I want to understand like what you mean when you say woke. And when you talk about stumped,
she was stumbling all over the place.
This is gonna be a clip. And she said something very weird to me.
She was like, I can't go viral.
Yeah, I can't go. It's gonna go viral. But she also said I can't define this in a soundbite. Why are you trying to define woke in a soundbite? That's so weird to me. Like I can't define this in a soundbite. Just answer the question.
Yeah.
That was so, like...
performative, kind of.
Yeah, it was so weird, but I think Amanda Seales in her caption, she talks about how, like, people weaponize certain words, and I kind of wanted to, like, get your thoughts on that. Like, what... Because you brought it up, like, what did you think about when you saw that video?
Well, yeah, I just feel like it's interesting, because it's like, at least the term woke started to be used a lot more around the George Floyd murder, and it had to do with people like waking up to the realities, and obviously we've been waking up to realities, we've been wide awake to them, but I think it was interesting to see a white woman try to define a term that's been used for, in particular here in the US, Black people's kind of unification. That's kind of really what being woke is. It's like uniting on the cause of, addressing discrimination. Yeah, we actually, like, you see what's going on.
Yeah. You woke to it.
You woke to it. And I guess white people, all sorts of people need to be awakened to that sort of issue. But I guess originally I was thinking to myself, I know why the reporter asked this white woman to try to define it.
Yeah.
But the fact that she couldn't just own that she can't define it is wild.
Some people aren't okay with saying they don't know. That is a kind of a weird thing. Like, that is weird.
Yeah, I forgot why I brought that up to you too. I'm sorry. Let me think about it.
No, I remember you're just talking about like. Well, I know we did talk about like defining woke, because like she struggles so much, and I'm like thinking to myself like, it really just being aware of of the circumstances that we as Black people are in, and like kind of like we have to like team up. That's how I saw woke, at least. And like I remember I asked you like, well, before I go in, like, how do you define woke? Like,
yeah, exactly that. Like being aware of discrimination and the different systems and agents that perpetuate the problems.
mm-hmm.
That's what being woke is, being awakened and aware of those happenings.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking you. I remember when we brought it up, I was talking about like how woke is kind of having a negative connotation. Like, and I'm guilty of it too. Not completely, but like I've definitely like somebody like if somebody's doing extra, I'm like, oh, he woke.
Yeah.
Like he's woke for sure. Like, but like kind of being like what's the word? Facetious. Is that
yeah.
Because it's like I don't like I would consider myself woke, but I'm not like going out like I'm woke.
Because it's also a title used for extremists.
Yeah, exactly.
People who are kind of more extreme in terms of, especially like Black power and Black, even perhaps nationalism, dare I say. Because
I hate to be this guy, but like when I think of like someone who's woke, I just think about that guy who has like that like yeah, brother, like you gotta use the argan oil because it's from the motherland and like stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, you woke for sure.
Talking about like a hotep.
Yeah. That's how it's called. I don't know what hotep is.
Oh yeah, look that up. Yeah, hotep. Yeah, it's kind of like a.
I'll put the facts right now.
I'm trying to think how do you define a hotep? Yeah,
that's I thought we were putting
extreme would be a relative term. I should have prefaced.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think that's what they would be considered. Talking about those people who are like. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, brother, you need to mess with a sister because a sister is the only one who understand your struggle. Y'all come from the same bloodline. I feel what you're saying, but why are you saying it like that?
It's that sort of woke is like knowing things that no other Black person would really know.
Yeah, but there's like a benefit to that, but it's like.
Well, there's like what's the truth to it too? Like how much is accurate. And applicable, because the thing is we're not a monolith as Black people. So, it works for a certain group of Black people, but not all.
Yeah, exactly.
Not all.
But
anyway, that's what it means to be woke to me.
So I was going to say, like, I was talking to the point of, like, weaponizing it. I think that was a good point that Amanda Sills brought up, because, like, we got to kind of claim these words, because kind of with the same thing with the N-word, where it's like people try to, like, we claim these words and they have a meaning, but the other people try to like take them and like misconstrue them, and it's like I said, like again, I'm guilty of using woke like condescending, like, but I never truly see somebody who's woke as like a negative. So for her, kind of like in that video talking about how like woke people, like these woke people are going for these things or whatever she was saying, it's like. That's what I'm kind of shout out to that sister for like putting her on blast. Like, what is woke to you? Because I don't get what you're saying. I'm trying to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, and then white people will try to co-opt our vernacular often. Faithfully.
Just like you ever seen that back and forth between slap and smack?
No.
Because like people who aren't Black trying to use those words as like, oh, this music smacks. Or this food slaps. It's like, no, you tried.
Just like Fleek and how Donald Trump started using Fleek, and then the word went all the way away.
So that's one thing that's so sad. Like if a white person uses a word wrong, that word dies like almost immediately.
It's got to be the right white person to kill it for the whole of the culture.
Hillary Clinton almost killed Crystal. What was it, Crystal? What she have in that purse? She had the hot sauce on her.
I don't know. I don't know that moment.
What?
Hillary Clinton pulled the
hot sauce out of her purse. I'll never forget that because that threw me. I gotta find it now.
That's hilarious.
You haven't seen that, really?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, just a second. I'm gonna pull this video up.
I cannot believe that.
You really? I'll never forget it. I was dead. Unless don't let this be a Mandela effect moment where I'm just like I feel like I saw it. I'm like, right, everybody remembers that, right?
That just reminds me of the Beyonce line.
What?
Hot sauce in my bag.
Oh. I'm weak. I didn't even know she said that. What song was that?
I don't. I think it's Formation.
Monday morning, Hillary Clinton asked to name something she carries with her every day. She goes, hot sauce. She answered, yeah. The Clinton campaign has confirmed the time to the time type. The type and brand of hot sauce now voted by the Democratic Party was Ninja Squirrel, a sriracha from the in-house brand of Texas-based Whole Foods Market. Shout out to her. I thought it was Crystal, but she carries hot sauce in her bag, and I'll never forget that because...
That's crazy. It's unexpected. Now I'm craving fried chicken.
Fried chicken's good. But anyway.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I'm a fan of Crystal. And
I
what's
love
it?
Crystal.
And Louisiana.
Yep.
That's what made me think of it.
If you don't got Louisiana in your kitchen, don't make no chicken. I'm so sorry. Even good chicken needs hot sauce.
Even good chicken needs hot sauce.
Like you eat it like, oh, this chicken is good. Let me get this.
It's a hot sauce. I like a little honey on mine too.
Okay, actually shout out to Chris. He's not watching this. He might watch it, but Chris Cruz. I put him on the honey on chicken, and man, he preached that to the world like on his soapbox. And shout out to Chris. Anyways, but it's a good one.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I wanted to talk about while we're on Instagram videos. That other one I sent you to, the one with like allowing friends to be like, and you're like, also we're gonna put these links in the bio so you guys can see the videos for context because we're pretty bad. I think I'm bad at giving context.
Yeah, we'll work on it. I'll work on it.
I know I'm trashy. Like, I try my best, but yeah, the video of the basically this lady did a video where she's just talking about, kind of speaking in soliloquy about how as kids we kind of like let our friends just kind of just exist in our lives, just sit around and just lay on the bed and text and watch movies and just like,
do life together.
Yeah, exactly. Just be in each other's lives just naturally. And as we get older, we kind of evolve into this weird like catch-up culture where it's like, oh, we have to catch up and tell you about my life and like this, tell you about everything instead of experiencing that life with you. And I almost cried watching that video.
Really?
Not like real tears, but like your chest kind of hurt.
Yeah, you felt it. Felt a little lump right here.
I was thinking about my friends, like my close friends that I've had, and how we had those moments where it's like you just sitting at the house and like open the door like, oh, what's up? And like just chilling like yeah, you're sitting there like not talking for like an hour and it's like random like, yeah, bro, I gotta tell you, bro, this whatever story you tell you, or like something happens where it's like someone, this life happens when you're in each other's vicinity, and like I do miss that, and I feel like I was just kind of thinking about like maybe it took me down a whirlwind of thoughts, but I kind of wanted to see like how did you feel about all of that, because I have a whirlwind of like emotions and thoughts when I think of that concept.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I thought it was beautiful and insightful for me too, because I mean, a lot of my friends have kids and are married, so we are often always catching up, and I feel like that happened shortly after graduating when we all kind of got into that space like she was talking about, just having all these responsibilities. It's like, yeah, I don't know, we have all these new responsibilities, a whole career, family, or insert all these other things, and prioritizing friendship starts to fall down the drain. And I've seen how, we can pick up where we left off, but there's nothing like being there for people through those moments. So yeah, I recently reconnected with one of my friends, my besties, this past weekend, and I was planning to go bird watching with her, but she ended up coming up here instead. And I was just having anxiety about traveling. It was like the weather was bad. I had a lot of grading to do, other stuff to prepare.
Yeah. So
she was like, I can just come up there, and she just did life with me. Like, she helped me prepare for what it was I was having anxiety about. She helped me relax also. We went shopping, we went to have lunch. Like, we just enjoyed the day, and, we don't do that much anymore. So there was something really powerful about that video for me that helped me to just try to not have to plan everything out with my friends. But even tomorrow, I have plans with one of my friends to go grab lunch and then go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Like, just doing more regular stuff so you can be in the know.
Yeah.
You know, I think I really appreciated that reminder.
Yeah, see, that's pretty dope. I'm jealous because I do not go grocery shopping with my friends.
Oh.
I mean, I've done it before. Like, there's nothing better than like getting like 5 people and like, let's go get something to eat. Like, let's make something. It's like, that's fine. But especially when it's like everybody splits up, you come back like ice cream. Okay,
but
like,
you're not in your basket.
But we're I definitely. It was like a refreshing reminder, especially me. I'm a workaholic, so I prioritize work heavily, not to my benefit some of the times. So like seeing videos like that just reminds me, especially I'm so far away from my friends anyway, but it just reminds me of, like you said, like it's like scheduled, like life is scheduled, and like I mean it's life right now, but it made me think about to a time when I was younger where it's like everything was like, I don't think it was good, but like everything was like kind of like on a whim. Like if it's a Saturday and we both have nothing planned, it's like, yeah, just pull up and we'll just chill, and like if we just chill, that's all we do. But 9 times out of 10 we figure out something to do, so it's like chilling and it's like, oh, you know what sounds good? We should make bazookies. Yeah. I go to the store, make bazookies, and it's like, or it's like, oh, let's go get something to eat. Let's go to lunch. We like, instead of driving, let's walk. Like, you know, things like that. We just being in people's lives, and I want to kind of, I hate to be like that person, feel like I'm trying to solve the world's problems, but it's like I wonder like where, like what happened, because I even think back to when I was younger. I was one of those kids who was blessed to go to Disneyland, and my mom and her friend. Her basically my aunt, but like my mom's closest friend, they used to like, they had kids. Like my mom had 2 kids and my aunt had 3 kids. Mm-hmm. And somehow they always hung out with each other like consistently while still working. They both had jobs, they're both single mothers. So they still worked, but somehow made time to hang out with each other and like bring the kids. And like that's how I was always around my cousins and whatnot. And like definitely took that for granted. But like as I get older, I'm like, what is my excuse why I cannot? My mom had 2 kids and a full-time job. Why can I not hang out with my friends? My mom was able to hang out with her friend all the time.
Because we also keep in touch on social media now, and they didn't have that before.
That is real.
Yeah.
Like social media is a problem.
Partly, I just think that there's more ways to keep in touch and in the loop and in the know of people's lives, so the incentive to like hang out on a day-to-day, the need, even text message, were way more accessible to one another. So the missing one another, the need to connect face-to-face is not quite as, urgent and normalized. Like, we can FaceTime and satisfy that need just as easily today. Not saying it's just as satisfying.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
But, I'm just saying, like, there's alternatives now, and I feel like we are a people of convenience and efficiency, so whatever's going to be faster and more efficient. And there's actually, I feel like, an increase of people who have like phone anxiety these days, like talking on the phone, like anxiety about talking to people on the phone.
I'm one of those people then, because I won't say I hate it. No, I hate it.
Yeah. I love talking on the phone.
I love talking on the phone. I hate FaceTiming.
Oh yeah, but what about calling? There are people who have anxiety just like making phone calls.
Oh no, not that.
Basic things.
I feel like I used to watch sitcom, like 90s sitcoms. It's something about. It sucks I have an iPhone now because I want to live that lifestyle where it's like I keep the receiver with me all the time. I'm like, or I had like the extra long. I remember I had a house phone when I was younger, and we had an extra long cable for one of the phones. And I mean, it wasn't a long era, calling your boo at 9 because her phone, her free minutes are at 9, so I had to call her cell phone from the landline. I'm just got the big old boop, 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 boop. Hello. Yeah, I miss you. Miss me? Like 14. No. Yeah. Like we didn't do anything. We don't do anything.
Yep. No.
But like, Yeah, I grew up in that era, so something about being on the phone is just natural. Like me and my cousin stay on the phone for like hours, like 2 hours, 3 hours, like easily, and it's not a bother. It's just something about FaceTime. Like I always get mad when like people always FaceTime, and biggest pet peeve I have with people FaceTime is that they're always doing something else on the FaceTime, and I feel like I feel like I'm locked into the phone. Like, okay, I'm FaceTiming you. So I have to look at you now. I have to have this in the vicinity. And I feel like you're not respecting the same thing. It's like either your phone's like this, or you're looking at me and you got glasses on, I can see you on Instagram. It's like, what'd you FaceTime me for?
Yeah. This should have just been a phone call.
Yeah, now I feel like I have freedom. I feel like I'm trapped.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel that. I feel like phone call or FaceTime makes it more accessible. But like you said, it doesn't suffice.
It's not the same.
It don't hit the same.
Yeah.
Like I can't. Me watching your story of your day is not the same thing as me being with you and like
being there for the story.
Actually seeing the guy trip
Yeah.
and you like busting your side split and like, dang.
Yeah, and laughing with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think we're going to be getting back to that. I think that there's definitely a,
resurgence for sure.
Yeah, there's an increase of interest in like authenticity and things like that, and authentic connection. But yeah, I don't know. Especially post COVID, it's hard to know people's desire to be connected face to face is all changed across the board. So
have you ever had a friend that like didn't want to meet in person?
During COVID, yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
That was me sometimes. Shoot.
Yeah. I used to.
Yeah.
We gotta call out a lot of people. A lot of people was using COVID as an excuse to not see people.
Well, yeah.
It was the perfect excuse too.
Me, I did do that sometimes.
It's like, oh, you're not gonna come to my grandma's birthday party? It's her 97.
I think I got
COVID.
I think I got it.
I'm hacking.
But I mean, to be fair, like I was actually like most people experiencing depression and other mental health, challenges. So, I mean, I had COVID, or I might have COVID. It's also code for the mental impact for me too. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to make excuses for myself.
We can speak on that because I think that's something that we are missing that my mom's generation has, and even a little bit my older cousins. Like, I feel like when we were younger, or the generations before us, their friends group were their safe spaces, and I don't feel like today some friendships for me. I know I got a couple friendships that aren't safe spaces. Like I can't. Like if I'm really feeling that way, like I don't want to go. I have a lot of friendships where it's like I can't openly say like
I don't want to.
I'm really not feeling like I'm kind of. I have to make. I mean, I don't make excuses. I usually tell them I don't want to go. But like, you kind of feel like I gotta find a reason. Like, oh, bro, I got a video edited. Oh, I got so much editing to do. Mm-hmm. And you really like sitting at home. Close. Almost have to socialize.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I feel like I don't know, like
I'm pretty straightforward about it these days. COVID helped me to become more straightforward.
100%, I imagine.
Sometimes if it's it did. Because I feel like I would say like there were real serious moments where I was like I might have been exposed, but like yeah, I'm pretty good about telling people like I no thank you.
You ever got hit with you're like, oh, I got cold. I think I got cold. I'm hacking coffee. Oh, it's good. We don't care. It's good. We don't even know. We don't wear masks.
Oh my gosh. No. No, I have not been hit by no. And
if I did,
that would be wild. I'd be like, okay, but I'm gonna stay home anyway. Thanks.
Okay, it's not like I need to get away from y'all.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I feel like I used to have a lot of friends that would kind of give me a hard time about not showing up to stuff, but I think we've matured and have a lot more grace about that, and it's not as important. Like I think supporting people's health is more important in my friendships, the ones that have really lasted anyway. So they respect it.
Yeah. What's some keys you feel like is important to like give somebody that space?
Give them the space. Don't take it personal. Like.
Don't rob the moment.
Yeah, don't rob the moment. If people need space, and even if that's happening like on a consistent basis, give them the space, maybe check in and call it out, like, hey, you flaked a couple times, like, is everything good? But to not hold it against the person, I think, is like the number one tip, because it's kind of manipulative, if you, in my opinion. Like, it's not an emotion that is debatable. Like, if somebody's tapped out, then you have, especially if it's like a relationship that's important to you, then you have every responsibility to, respect that and honor that request. You know.
So is that like when you say that? Because I definitely understand that, but I kind of want to explore that a little bit. Like, is there like a limit? Not a limit. Like, is there a past limit? Like, okay, you've had. I invited you for. Because I will say, from my perspective, I've been on the side where you keep inviting somebody, and like they kind of like keep telling you no. It's hard to continue to invite people to stuff where it's like, bro, you didn't hit me with a no like 4 times, and I'm not good with rejection.
Oh yeah, that's a personal problem.
No, I'm not saying like I'll stop, but it's like, like.
But yeah, no, but I don't. I think the number is like, it depends on the person, like because like if it's that's important to you in your friendships, then that's important to you in your friendships. But if it isn't, or if it's important that you have this space for it to not be held against you, that people aren't counting, then.
Well, I'm not saying like literally counting, but like like. But
yeah, some do though.
I trust me.
You asked if there's a number.
Yeah, I guess I did ask if there's a number.
Yes, if there's a number, and for me, I'm the friend that would flake multiple times. Like, so I need unlimited.
I need the buddy. I need the unlimited pass.
I need the unlimited pass. And the thing is, though, like, if I get unlimited, you get unlimited too. If there are days, which my friends have, that they're like, sorry, girl, I forgot, or sorry, girl, I cannot tonight. I don't hold it against you. If anything, I'm grateful to have the night to myself. I will reconnect and we'll reschedule. So, I don't know. I don't feel a way about rejection. I've worked through that particular feeling also. Been rejected a lot in my life, so I've developed a lot of resilience around it. So yeah, I don't think that there's a number. I think it's just there's a boundary, and it's a personal boundary. And if for you it's more than 4 times is disrespectful to you, or it's just like it's just like not my vibe. You have every right to own that.
I don't think it's a number. I think it's the type of event.
Oh, well, like what?
Like
major events?
Yeah, like you can skip a birthday. I don't care if you skip my birthday.
Okay.
But like if it's like my first kid's birthday, like my first kid's like baptism or something like that, you're like, oh, I can't make it. I'm not really feeling the vibe. It's like I can only get baptized once. Like I'm not gonna be like holding it against you, but like it's like like there's certain moments where it's like kind of wanted you to be there. It's like a big moment, and like you're like.
If that's the case, say that up front. Otherwise, how would we know?
No. Yeah,
this is not advice to you, but this is how I like my thought is. If a friend would be feeling that way about me, like I'm happy to be there for you, but you have to communicate that that's something you need. Otherwise, that's an unexpressed expectation that I don't owe you. Yeah. Like, I love your kids, but kids' parties, is that going to be fun for me? Maybe not.
I don't know. I gotta.
I don't have kids, and I don't know how to help take care of all of your kids.
I want to say, do you feel like that's like I had a conversation like this with my girlfriend, and we were talking about like, we're talking to her sister and her sister's husband, and it was like we're talking about how like it's, and I didn't think of it as a gender thing then, but now I'm hearing you like speaking that same way. I wonder if it's a gender thing where it's like, I feel like men have a lot more expectations for their friends.
Yeah, I think so. Because I miss my best friend. Her son's first birthday was last month, and I missed his birthday party. I planned to go, but the weather was really bad, and I didn't want to drive in that weather. Yeah. And it's his first birthday, and I'm sure I was really looking forward to seeing her. She was looking forward to seeing me. But yeah, there's a lot of flexibility, but also the difference, I think, gender-wise in friendship. Like with guys, I feel like your friendships last for longer and, across different phases of your life. For myself, I don't know. I would be curious what other women have to say, but for me, I feel like my friends have changed through the phases of my life.
Interesting.
So, like, I have friends from high school. I have my friends from college. I have, different subsets of friends in college, and now I have my post, college friends. I have grad school friends. So it's like, I think women have friendships out of convenience and like where they're at. That's probably not a fair generalization.
No, I'm not. I was just wondering.
I'm not sure if it's a fair. I'd have to like look into that, but I'll speak just from my own experience and like observations. I feel like most men that I know have a friend they've known since childhood, at least one. Do you? Multiple.
Yeah.
Exactly. That you're good friends with.
Yeah.
That's your boy. Like that's probably like your brother, more like your brother. Yeah. For me, the people I grew up with.
Where are they?
We're friends on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, we're not sisters. Like, we're not out here inviting each other to weddings anymore. Like, you get to a certain point where it's like, I'm rooting for you from afar. And I have a new circle.
Do they get happy
of friends.
birthdays?
Yeah, sometimes. Maybe.
They're not in the calendar.
Then no. No.
I'm just
I used to have some birthdays memorized, but I'm pretty terrible at birthdays these days.
No, I just want to.
Few years.
Yeah, because I just feel like I don't know. Like even like when I was talking to her sister's husband, he was saying like, yeah, I got a friend where it's like if I don't talk to him for a week, like it's like not an issue. But like, if I don't talk to him for a month, like he's probably gonna call me like, hey, like you said, kind of like checking like, is everything good? Like you've been MIA, and not like there's a full expectation like you didn't call me, so like we're not friends, but more like what's going on?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, and like I was telling her about my dad. Like my dad has a friend that same thing, known him like since he moved to like California, like known him for a long time, and it's like implicit expectation. Not like it's not like you have to be here or you're like trash, but like there's like an implicit expectation where it's like I know you're going through like a tough time right now where it comes to like as far as your relationship at home. But are you gonna come to this birthday party that we finna have? You know, we doing Super Bowl, so like what are we gonna do? Like he 9 times out of 10 shows up. And like it's not like explicit expectation like, oh I know you like if he didn't show up it probably wouldn't be a big deal, but it's like more like there's like that like I gotta be there, like this is my birthday, like man, whatever, like that.
Gotta push through those feelings.
Huh?
Gotta like push through the feelings and just show up.
And I feel like I've been there as a person where it's like I might not be in the best mood. But like or like I might not be in the best spot, like even like sometimes like financially. I'm not saying going into debt, but like even like I kinda wanna do something different, like, save some money. Mm-hmm. But I've been in a situation where I'm like, for the sake of the relationship though, like, yeah, let's do it. And on the other side, I've never regretted it, but I definitely do think about like I think it's a pretty weird thing I never thought about in that sense. Like I've never had the person where somebody kept flaking on me and I'm like, oh, I can't be their friend no more. But I understand that people do go through that experience where it's like,
oh yeah,
like I feel like if my cousin, who's like my closest person to me, like if he kept inviting me stuff and I kept like denying, like kept like flaking on it, I feel like it would be an issue sooner than later. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I've lost friends because of the fact that I'm flaky. Yeah, I have, and I don't shrug it off like it's no big deal, but I accept that that's how I am, and it's what I need in my friendships. And if a person can't provide that for me, then maybe we're just not compatible. And so that's what I mean by like it's all about your own boundaries. Mm-hmm. If you need people to be consistent, then that's your need. But if someone can't be, they're not a good fit.
Well, consistency too is different. Like some people is once a month. Like I got a friend I see like once a year, and like. And that grew to once every 2 years when he got a relationship. So it's like, I'm not mad at that. Like I'm very like, open to that. I think it's a communication thing, really. Like,
yeah.
Somebody letting you know, like, listen. Like,
I'd love to be there, but
yeah, like, like, I've invited into stuff, and it's like I invited into something recently, and aunt got sick, lives in San Diego, so it's like I'm not gonna tell you like choose me over your aunt. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
But I probably haven't seen him for like 3 years. 3 years. But I mean, I still consider like one of my closest friends, so it's not like oh, he flaked him. I can't mess with him.
Yeah.
So sometimes when people do stuff like that, where it's like I've hung out with this person like 2 months, they ain't my friend. They're my friend. I see them every day. Like,
oh yeah.
That's whack.
It's a little too codependent for me.
Yeah, it's
I've outgrown. I used to have very codependent friendships too.
Yeah.
I also think that's like probably more on my side. I'm not saying that was on my friends' sides, but I know for me, I was very reliant on my friendships, reliant on, like them to not be alone. And I outgrew that. And so like my me time is very, very important. Like I don't want to see my friends every day. I love them, but being in contact with people all the time is draining and tiring. And I don't want to reach out and be in touch with people out of obligation. I want it to because, I have the time and I'm concerned and, I love you.
Pretty much.
So, where was I going with that? Sorry about that.
It's okay. I was on train the whole time.
It always is at the most inopportune times.
Perfect time. Perfect timing.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know where that was going. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It.
But yeah, I think I thought about it. I'm like,
Yeah, codependent. Me time is important. I just feel like
there's definitely boundaries you have to set.
There's boundaries you have to set, and there's also grace you have to offer. And it's just a really complicated dance that you have to figure out until you're in harmony.
That also changes all the time because you might talk to somebody every week, but as the kids say, if life is lifing, you got to fig.
Well, and like I was saying for myself, my boundaries have changed. I used to be very accessible for my friends and family. You call me, I'd be there. You text me, I would probably respond. And eventually, like now, I'm at a place where responses take a while sometimes.
Has to go through my secretary.
Yeah, listen, contact my assistant. I don't have an assistant, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not as attached to my phone. I'm not attached to responding to people quickly. I would much rather get back to you when I have the mental capacity. And sometimes that's hours, days, a week, weeks later.
Yeah.
But I do my best to get back. And I feel like I just need people in my life that will appreciate that effort.
Yeah. Well, I definitely, like I said, I understand that because...
Check in.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with it too, like, check in.
That's my thing. I would say this. I'm not accessible when people take messages.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm not going to text you all day. Like, if you consistently text me back and forth, it's like, listen, I saw the message. You're going to get, like, I'm going to give you confirmation.
Yeah.
But sometimes people take like consistently back and forth. And I'm just like, I be feeling back. I'm like, you're getting left on red. Like, that's why I hate having an iPhone. I used to have an Android. I used to leave my friend red all the time because like,
no one would know.
Like, you talking back so much, bro. Like, just call me, bro. That's how I feel like, bro. If you want to hang out, just say that thing.
I feel that, yeah.
That's why I always like, hey, bro, you want to hang out or something? Like, we could just hang out. Like, because then I feel like, I'm also, like I said, I'm like a production junkie. Like, I feel like I'm texting you, like, I'm so unproductive texting you back and forth. Like,
this is eating up my time.
Because now I'm like, looking for my phone. Did you text me? You text me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I texted him back. I don't think I texted him back. Like, I was like, I just put like, listen, bro. I'm about to get the phone.
Yeah.
My phone's on, like, currently on D&D right now. Like, stays on D&D. So
same,
sorry.
Yeah. Get to you when I can. I will get to you when I can. Yep.
Exactly. But, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Not today.
Yes, I think I'm...
I feel like you had some really great topics. As well as the woke one. We both had some good topics today. And it's been a long week, so my mind is pretty... Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sorry to the listeners if I was a little mentally all over the place, but hello.
That's all good, because I was going to go into the coded bias, but it's giving too much.
No, it's giving too much. Maybe next time. I mean, how long have we even been in this thing?
134. Not bad at all.
Yeah. It's a good show.
So what you got planned for the weekend?
I'm going to be relaxing after that grading marathon, triathlon. And then go
Running
to lunch.
swim and bike.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. That's what it feels like. So yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy my victory lunch tomorrow with my bestie.
Nice.
Do some grocery shopping. Everyday things, nothing special. What about you?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
I think we talked about this in the beginning. You said you were gonna like edit videos.
Oh yeah, video. See, I have it like in a journal, but it's in the journal, so it's like when I open it, like But yeah, video, like video editing. Got a couple video. I got this edit. I got another one I gotta edit. And then I'm also trying to make content for my job. I'm trying to see if I can become a multimedia manager, social media manager. Cause I'm doing sales already, so kind of just want to be more in the marketing area. But I'm like, you know, when you're like, you see like this videos, like you gotta find that area where they need you and like kind of be there. And you're kind of looking for like the places that you want to be, like looking for coffee shops. Like, oh, they all have good websites. Like, oh, I'm at a business where I'm looking. I'm like, I see the opening. But it's like, it's a decent company. I didn't expect this. How can I? It's kind of gonna be fun. I talked to my boss about it. He said, yeah, go ahead. So
do it.
Post some content. See if I can make some content for diesel companies. So
it will be cool to get creative.
Really get creative, because I'm like, I don't know, like we'll figure it out.
I'll send it to you one off. But that reminds me of something that I'll send to you one off. But yeah.
Okay.
Good luck. All that said, good luck.
But
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, this is the Special Friends podcast. Again, it's me, Wuzi, and
Professor B, Allie B.
Allie B, Professor B, we're here.
Whichever one you know me by.
And we're out of here. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Peace.